So one of the things that I'm trying to get, Alex, is that people will transform for a couple of reasons the way they do business. One of those might be that they see the economic benefit of this,
right,
of this doing good thing, and of this going green thing, and the sustainability, and this reuse, and this renew, and this recycle thing. So tell me, without giving away the secrets of the store, have you reached profitability yet, or are you? What is this whole approach to business done for this business?
It's definitely made it a better profit margin, because if
you get publicity from people show up who want to interview you.
Yes, exactly. But no, I mean, the cost of goods is definitely a lot less. I do put a lot more time and effort into it, because anytime I go to a thrift store and buy shirts there, they're washed and treated, so it's more effort put in, but that's where the art factor comes in. But when you're buying up used t-shirts in bulk, it is a heck of a lot cheaper. So business wise, it's been great.
And so how many employees do you have? Just you?
Oh, it's just me, full time.
Okay.
But part time, I have mail order mom, which is my mother, and she runs the mail order in Massachusetts. And then I have different people that help me out with printing or mail order or different aspects. I usually have an intern through Chico State, Northern California too. So
then, what about? I noticed on your website that you've worked with several nonprofits, either bring awareness or do a fundraiser. Have you done some cross marketing with groups, or what have you done what are you doing in the community to raise awareness and hopefully raise some bucks for the nonprofits or whatever?
Well, the most recent was just the other day. It was the San Diego stop on this tour. It was an event called Future of Surfing, and it's put on by a nonprofit called rerip.org. And what their whole goal is to take back surfboards that are not necessarily in the best condition and reuse them either as artwork or use the material in different art pieces or different projects, or if they're still rideable, try to get the inner city kids to learn how to surf, to try to get them away the typical gang and violent situations. So we went down to that event, and I actually spoke at the event, but also I made the rerip.org event t-shirts for that event. So
cool.
I was able to promote both the reusing of surfboards and the reusing of t-shirts.
So if you could give advice to either an existing business or somebody who wants to start a business, and they consider themselves to be, need to be profitable, they have heard about this, maybe there might be a global warming problem on the planet or something, what would you tell them the possibilities are of success if they do more good in the world? I'm obviously very biased, because I think that, as I'm talking about my definition of this category is what I call goodonomics, and I think if it's good for the planet, it's good for business.
Right.
What would you tell them? What kind of advice would you give them?
I would say just give yourself a few extra seconds before you make a decision. Think about what you're doing. Before you go buy that, ream of 500 sheets of paper, think, oh wait, maybe the bookstore down the street or something has a bunch of paper they're going to recycle, or just look in the recycle bin. And if you're just printing inter-office flyers, or for example, all of our flyers, we just print on the back of paper and then cut them up. There's so many little easy steps that if you just take that few extra seconds to think about, it can save not only the planet, but it saves business a ton of money. I mean, we use all used food packaging for all of our boxes for shipping, for mail order.
I read on your website that I might get a t-shirt if I ordered it from you in a Cheerios box or something?
All of our mail order is done in food packaging. It's just, fortunately I have a lot of family members who eat tons and tons of cereal, so most orders are shipped out in cereal boxes. And before that, years ago, I was paying about 25 cents, 35 cents per box for a brand new box. So think about that. If you're shipping, 1,000 orders a month, say, that's $250 saved.
So then your customers don't mind getting a reused, recycled T-shirt in a reused box, because it's kind of what they almost expect it in a sense?
They do expect it.
They appreciate it.
Yes. There is one very awesomely amusing story that I just have to share.
So then let me stop this for a second. So we're going to just describe some of these shirts. So I'm going to pan over here and just look at this. This is the one that says StayVocal, Dandelion, Snow. Tell me about this one.
This is the Reuse and Snooze limited edition tour shirt. And you know, one of the big things when a band goes on tour is making a tour shirt. So we wanted to just make a reuse shirt. And my friend Mike is a pretty renowned online comic, and he came up with the design, and it features me hawking the reuse shirts, and Roger playing guitar, and then all the beatniks enjoying their coffee at the coffee shop.
So how about this one, the black one here?
This is a limited edition design as well.
What's it say?
It says "Love Mother Earth's Body" already, and we did this for Earth Day this year. We just had some leftover ones, and it's an artist won contest.
Okay, and so you're wearing one of these here, which says "reuse because you can't recycle the planet."
Yep.
So how'd you come up with that?
Just by realizing the obvious. Everybody always says, "Oh, you can recycle that," or "Oh, it's so good, I'm recycling," and look at me, I'm putting this in the recycle bin. But there's only so much recycling that we're going to be able to do, because it takes oil, it takes energy to do all the recycling. So before you put something in the recycle bin, think about the possibility of reusing it. If it's a glass jar, put some nails in it. If it's a piece of paper, flip it over and use the backside. If it's a t-shirt, flip it on the inside and print on it like we do.
And then if you have to, please recycle instead of trashing it.
Right.
Right. But yeah, you're right. There's a limit to how much we can recycle.
Right.
So this is a tour shirt, just in a different color.
Yeah.
And then this is an interesting one. I make the world better by blank. What did you do?
Right.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. So
how'd you come up with that?
I came up with that because there's so many different things that people do on a regular basis that's what they're doing to make the world better, whether it be animal rights related, human rights related, choosing to reuse. And this is actually a perfect example. This is just a patch that's sewn over the original design. And to toot my own horn, this was featured on Good Morning America as a unique gift for Mother's Day under $20. So
wow, that's cool.
It was pretty awesome. See that on national TV.
Right, yeah. So this is reuse clothing, restore lives. This was done for a nonprofit or a fundraiser or something?
This is a benefit T-shirt for a nonprofit in Chico, California called Catalyst, and it's a safe house. Basically, it's a nonprofit against domestic violence. And I teamed up with another T-shirt company who's all about 10% of all of their shirts are donated to nonprofits. So I approached him and I said, hey, instead of trying to be battling T-shirt companies, let's join forces and do something awesome. So this
you collaborated together?
Yeah.
All right.
Two T-shirt companies collaborated.
I love it.
Of course, it had to be on a reused shirt, otherwise I wouldn't have done it. And he was totally into it. His company is called Restored Clothing, and we just a local tattoo artist came up with the design. Catalyst has a house in Chico, so it's kind of like the key, the lock, doorknob, key lock, whatever, to the house.
Oh, got it. Grandfather of two, father of three. So I know what kid snot is. You had a unique idea here. The first person I've ever known who has consciously made and sold something called snot rags. Tell me about it.
Well, my friend who runs a company called EasyEcoToGo.com came up with these original reusable wipes, is what we call them. And I was thinking about them one day, and I was listening to my friend's song from the early 90s called Snot Rag. And I was like, oh man, I need to do reusable wipe or hanky for little kids called Snot Rag, because what little kid wouldn't want to blow their nose with something called a snot rag?
Especially young males, maybe.
Right. And these basically came to fruition because, not all T-shirts can be reused as T-shirts, whether they have, a little bit of an armpit stain or like a hole in the bottom of the shirt or the thread is loose, So basically I cut squares out of white T-shirts and then we just, print the snot rags and the reusable white.
And then I got to assume that you use a printing process that is environmentally friendly as possible?
As possible. We have our own printer, and when I acquired the printer, it also came with tons of ink. So instead of just throwing all the ink away, I'm using all of that up, and then everything that I buy new is, more eco-friendly. But the whole screen printing world is such a tough ballgame because eco-friendly inks also have really bad disposal things. It's like the whole Prius question. You know, the disposal of the battery and the production of the battery is so bad, but the actual, you know, so it's like which battle do we fight? So every time I make a new T-shirt, I have to pick and choose which battle I'm fighting.
But in reality, that's a good point, because in reality, we do live in a world of choices and priorities. And in the perfect world, every ink of every kind would be soy and recyclable and everything else, but it ain't so. So it's a matter of incremental improvement, as opposed to we're not making always making leaps. We're doing, and if you do one thing incrementally better than you did, if you save one T-shirt from a landfill, that's better than no T-shirts. You know, just changing 2 light bulbs to make CFL or whatever, even though CFLs have a disposal problem too, it's better than burning incandescents if you have to buy new. So that's good. Well, I'll look at the hats too.
Same exact thing as the T-shirts earlier. It's just brand new hats that did not sell, and they would have otherwise been destroyed. So I just covered the original logos with patches.
Put the gun down?
Yeah, this was a few years ago. I had an animal rights line that I call Put the Gun Down. It's just raised awareness about a dangerous species, you know, because there is
there's a lot of
shockingly still an poaching problem, you know, in a lot of countries. So I just wanted to come up with a fancy slogan. It was Put the Gun Down.
So for a quick question, the Green America, the Green America contest is going on right now.
Yep.
When's the voting end?
StayVocal, finally, 2010.
So when's the voting end? Or
October 6th. So if you guys
October 6th, okay.
Or October 6th, you know, either visit greenamerica.org or StayVocal.com, and you'll see plenty of ads trying to get you to get my vote.
So last minute shameless plug. The website again is
www.stayvocal.com.
Okay, great. Hey, thanks, Alex. Good luck on your tour.
Thank you very much.
And the intention, as I said earlier, is to track what you're doing if you want to be tracked, to try to see, you know, how you progress. And I think you're doing a great thing by keeping these T-shirts out of the landfills and keep up the good work. We're going back to the question that I asked Alex that said, if there's one thing that you could say to people who might be reading this in a book or watching the video or listening to the audio that I didn't ask, what would that be? And let's move over just a little bit so that, although I actually stand underneath that again, that's actually pretty cool. So he has the light on him right here. So let's see what kind of wisdom.
Ideal light bulb,
the enlightened wisdom that Alex is going to give us here. So
the thing that I'd like to say is, if you're going to do something, you better walk the walk and talk the talk. If you're gonna do it. I live reuse. I don't just make T-shirts that say reuse and put them on new garments. I walk into stores and I see shirts that say reduce, reuse, recycle, the 3 R's or whatever, and they're printed on brand new shirts that are made in Honduras. If you're going to do something that's green, you better live it. And me personally, my entire outfit right now, thrift store jeans, vintage USA made Chucks, because now they're owned by Nike. You know, my belt is from a thrift store. My hat is one of the ones that was going to be destroyed, and the shirt is one of the ones that I make. So if you're going to be a green business, you know, don't just sell it. You got to live it.
So one of the things that I think that's a great point is that this whole movement is about authenticity.
Yeah.
And people, the customers, know that and see that and feel that. So that's great advice. Thank you again so much. And we look forward to seeing you on the road.